The story begins with a nightmare when Fikri was a child. At that time the mother, Hamida, had a trance until her face turned terrible. Fikri's father, named Sofian, was no less angry with his wife. The water carried in the glass was slapped away. Fikri, who came to bring snacks, was actually strangled by his own mother, who was in a trance. This made Fikri wake up from his nightmare. In the morning, Shaman, Fikri's wife, prepares breakfast for her children and husband. Adam, Fikri's son, loves playing zombie video games on his cell phone. Shaman tries to ask what happened last night with Fikri. The husband only replied that he had recently been reminded of his hometown. Shaman had the idea of inviting Fikri to return to the village because it was not far from their house. Besides that, since they got married, Fikri has never been home and introduced her brothers to Shaman. Thought also considered this. He immediately went to work together with Adam, who went to school. Shaman, who was at home alone, suddenly got a disturbance. A strange sound came from the top floor of the house. Turns out it was just the sound of the AC turning on by itself. Suddenly, TV sound immediately turned off the television, but he was having trouble until he had to unplug the electricity. Unfortunately, Shaman actually got hurt when he did that. In the evening, Fikri met Pak Hussein. Pak Hussein is the father of Fikri's connection when Fikri was entrusted when he was a child. Mr. Hussein, who was praying, had a vision where a hand appeared from a grave. Fikri, who came to surprise him, was immediately greeted by Pak Hussein. Pak Hussein said that the magical object had arrived. Seen a shadow figure from outside the mosque. Pak Hussein told Fikri to immediately finish their business because the time had come. Magical objects that have been disturbing the mind will soon end. Pak Hussein reminded again that when he first entrusted his thoughts to him, he had never seen Pak Sofian with such a scared face. Pak Hussein asked if the wife of Fikri knew that he studied the occult. Fikri said that his wife did not know at all, even Shaman did not know about the disturbance that her husband had been experiencing. Pak Hussein didn't mind it either. He handed over some objects, and Fikri should be a prayer read by holding it. At exactly 4:30 in the morning, Shaman woke up and was about to pick up drinking water. She saw her husband praying in his room. But when leaving the room, Shaman met with Fikri. He was confused about it. Shaman tried to explain what happened, but he was scared. Fikri tries to calm his wife down and he will see Adam, who is in another room. When Fikri entered the kitchen, he saw a hideous figure wearing a sarong and charred body. Soon, Fikri brought Adam to sleep with them. Fikri did not say what really happened to his wife. Fikri recalled that when he was a child, he met Wakaipin, a traditional healer at that time. Mr. Sophia asked for help from Wakaipin to cure his wife. Fikri, who came with his father, saw the figure of a Jerang Kung Saka, Wakaipin's pet, next to the room. Big tall form and looks very terrible. Fikri woke up again from his sleep. He also invited his wife to mourn his brother Ata and Ali. Shaman also agreed with it, and in the morning they immediately left for Kaka Fikri's house. When he got there, the house looked dirty and unkempt. Even when Fikri dredged several times, there was no answer at all. He tries to search from the side door, but there is no sign of life. Not long after, a car came. It turned out to be Fikri's brother, a woman named Ita. Ita welcomed his brother's arrival and ordered him to come in. Fikri asks the whereabouts of Ali's brother, who is invisible. Ita also replied that Ali's brother was in the house. Inside looks messy and full of work from Ita. Ian tries to call Ali, but Fikri says that he will go to his brother himself. Fikri walks in while remembering the memories in it. In Ali's room, the room looks messy. Fikri tries to call his brother and looks. Ali appears from the next room, Unfortunately, Ali's arrival does not get a good reception by his brother. Ali immediately came out and met with Shaman and Adam. Without saying a word, Ali rushed out of the house. Fikri and his family relax in the room. They prepare clothes and necessities for the night. When night falls, they eat together. Ali is seen coming home after a day of going somewhere. A supernatural figure appears that whispers to Ali not to reveal the secret. Ali, who was frightened, rushed inside and joined in to eat together. Ali was immediately angry when he saw Adam eating while watching his cell phone. According to him, there was no child manners from his younger brother. Ali gets angry and goes back to his room. Ita apologized to Shaman for what his brother had done. Shaman also packed up his food, while Ita said that if Ali's father and mother died, he just kept on praying without wanting to work. Even Ali's life was borne by Ita himself, who was lucky to become a civil servant. Ita invites his sister to visit the grave the next day. Fikri, who had not been on a pilgrimage for a long time, forgot the location of the grave of his parents. Fikri also asked for his mother's room first. Ita said that he also never visited the room, because he thought it was too scary. Used to be only his father who was in the room before he died. Shaman, who returned to the room, saw the album of memories of her husband when he was a child. He seemed very interested in it. In the morning, Fikri and his brother went to the funeral. Sent Adam and Shaman do the homework. Adam, who was playing a game, heard a strange sound from Ali's room. Out of curiosity, he tried to enter the messy room and saw a wooden bowl. A sound came from the bathroom of the room, and when he opened it, there was Ali with a terrible black face wearing a sarong. Adam immediately ran to meet his mother and left his cell phone in Ali's room. Adam said that he saw Ali as a scary zombie. Shaman, who heard that, thought that Adam was just playing too many games. He also invited his son to eat immediately. While Ali, who came out of the bathroom, saw Adam's cell phone was there. Fikri and Ita, who had arrived at the cemetery, rushed to find the graves of their parents. But after turning around, Ita did not find the graves of his parents. He himself had forgotten where the tomb was. Ita could only cry, apologizing to Fikri because he had forgotten the graves of his parents. Inside the house, Ali came to Adam and Shaman, who were eating in front of the television. Ali angrily grabbed the remote and changed the cartoon channel to a news channel. Without saying anything, Ali leaves and leaves them feeling annoyed. On the chair there is Adam's cell phone, which Ali brought but in a damaged condition. Fikri, who had returned with Ita, immediately received a call from the office informing him that there was an important meeting tomorrow. That night, after taking a bath, Shaman invites Fikri to go home. He admits that he is afraid of Ali and that Adam has to go to school. Fikri tried to calm his wife down and said that he was not satisfied being in his hometown. Shaman now accepts that and says that Adam looks at Ali like a zombie. Fikri immediately woke up his son and asked him to tell him what had happened this afternoon. Adam said that he saw Ali like a zombie and also that his cell phone was damaged by Fikri's brother. Fikri, who knows this, feels quite confused. That night, Ita, who was taking food in the refrigerator, was surprised by her brother, who was upset. Ali said that the supernatural object had come to him again. Ita doesn't believe it and says that it's just Ali's excuse not to work and keep being lazy. Hearing that, Ali made more rage. Ita apologized and tried to calm her brother down. He asks if Ali still remembers the graves of his parents. Ita said it was because he forgot the graves when he delivered Fikri. He feels guilty because he couldn't keep his Fikri in the past, and even now he can't even show the graves of his parents. Ali, who heard that, did not answer and even blamed Fikri. He said if Fikri didn't run away, then his father probably wouldn't have died. Ali, who was emotional, left Ita alone. Ita, who was crying herself, saw the appearance of her mother's figure, who said to convey her mandate. In the morning, Fikri rushes to work. He said goodbye to his wife because he had an important meeting he had to attend. Even though it was hard to leave because he was still afraid, Shaman tried to be strong and not afraid. Fikri immediately went to the office. Adam, who was playing in the remote car, suddenly entered Hamida's mother's room. Adam tried to take his car, which was under the bed. But when it was about to be picked up, the car drove by itself, crashing into a cupboard. Shaman, who has a bad feeling, immediately looks for his son. He finds the remote in Hamida's room, but not with Adam. Suddenly, the cupboard vibrates. Adam's voice asks his mother to open it. Shaman frantically looked for a hammer in the kitchen, and when he was about to return to his room, he saw Adam walking in the garden. Shaman soon followed Adam. Meanwhile, Adam himself followed the figure of his grandmother, who kept asking him to go. Luckily, Shaman immediately caught his son and went back into the house. That night, Shaman tried to call her husband. Not connected yet. Car headlights visible from the bedroom window. Shaman immediately came out to greet her husband, but in the yard there was no car from Fikri. Shaman came back and then saw Fikri in the kitchen. Besides that, Adam was seen running out of his room. Shaman, who panicked, immediately looked into the room, and there was a figure of grandmother Hamida with a terrible shape beside the bed. Slowly Shaman invited his son to go, but instead Hamida's hand he brought. The frightened Shaman saw his son being strangled by that horrible figure. While Shaman, who was in severe fear, was approached by her husband. Fikri tried to calm Shaman, and saw Adam sleeping peacefully on the bed. Shaman looked for what happened to him that day. Fikri also gathered his brother and asked if their mother had a saka, or a pet genie. Ita denied this, but Ali scolded his sister for not being home for a long time. Fikri was angry with it because his wife and children were hit by the terror of supernatural beings. He asked his son where the terror started. Adam also said that the first time he got terror from inside the room. Fikri immediately entered the room, followed by Ali. When Fikri looked at the cupboard, Ali suddenly got disturbed. His ears hurt. The cupboard vibrated by itself. Meanwhile, Ata screamed in a trance. Fikri and Ali immediately neutralized Ata, but they were unsuccessful. Fikri tries to communicate with his brother, who is in a trance. Fikri remembers the same incident with his mother. Because the genie did not want to come out and continued to rebel, Fikri was forced to issue it. The genie who possessed Ata also admitted that he was sent by Wak-I-Pin. The genie continued to struggle to ask for his master to be called. He promised to get out of Ata's body soon. Fikri also said goodbye to go to Wak-I-Pin. But Ali tried to stop him. Fikri insisted on going to the shaman. When he got there, he was greeted by Wak-I-Pin, who immediately ate raw eggs. When Fikri was about to make a request for help, Wak-I-Pin just walked away. Meanwhile, in the house, Ali gets another distraction. Shaman tries to bring Adam back to the room, but Ali follows him. He forced to bring Adam and tried to put him in Hamida's room. Adam, who managed to escape hiding under the dining table. He was very scared, screaming for his mother. Adam, who tried to run, was finally caught by Ali and put into the dark and terrible room. A skeleton figure appeared from inside the cupboard and approached Adam. Luckily, Shaman immediately freed Adam from that horrible skeleton. While Fikri tries to find Wak-I-Pin, he gets a call from his wife asking for help. Then there appeared a skeleton figure that chased Fikri and attacked him. Luckily, Fikri managed to get out of the house and met Pak Husan. Pak Husan asked what Fikri was doing in the collapsed house. It turns out that Fikri has been exposed to the devil's trick all this time. Fikri immediately remembered his son and his wife. He immediately went home, but was detained by Pak Husan and ordered him to change clothes. Meanwhile, in the house, Ali goes on a rampage and tries to get to Adam. Fikri's car sounded and Ali immediately returned to the living room. Fikri immediately met his frightened wife and tried to calm her down. The genie who was in Ata again insulted Fikri, who obeyed his words. Fikri, who heard that, became angry. He asked why the genie told him to go to Wakai Pin. The genie told Fikri to ask Ali because he had all the secrets. Fikri immediately asked his brother to reveal all the secrets. Unfortunately, Ali still doesn't want to admit it and blames Fikri, who suddenly came to the house. Ali alleges that Fikri wants the inheritance from his parents. Ali also asked why Fikri used to run away from home. Mr. Hussain, who heard this, said that Fikri did not run away, but Mr. Sofian, who handed over Fikri to Mr. Hussain. An argument ensued to make the genie in Ata burst out laughing. Pak Hussain calmed them both down. Ali tells Fikri that he is no longer strong enough to be haunted every night just to not reveal the secret. He admits that he is always haunted after knowing all the secrets. In the past, Randan, the son of Wakai Pin, who always followed where his father went, turned out to have always practiced witchcraft on people. Ramdan tells Ali that his father has passed Saka on to him, but Ramdan refuses to accept his father's pet genie. Randan said that when they were young, the government wanted to take their land. Little Randan was invited by his father to go to the government and met with Bu Hamida. Wakai Pin pleaded with Hamida not to take the land because his wife was seriously ill. If he gets evicted, he doesn't know where to live. Wakai Pin even prostrated begging please. Unfortunately, Hamida couldn't make a decision because she was only carrying out orders from her superiors. However, Wakai Pin, who did not accept it, threatened to kill Hamida. Randan tells that after his mother died, his father summoned Jelangkung in the cupboard and used it to curse the mother of Fikri. Ali, who knew that, felt sorry for not being able to do anything for his mother. Mr. Hussain, who heard this, said that the sorcerer or shaman really liked living near the shaman. And why the closet? Because according to him, cupboard is a place to store clothes where clothes are the closest thing to our bodies, so magic can work well. Mr. Hussain asked to be shown the truth of the cupboard. He asked the whereabouts of Wakai Pin. But it turned out that Wakai Pin had died. Knowing that fact, Mr. Hussain was very surprised because they were facing a genie who had no master. Suddenly Ata ran away again. Pak Hussain immediately took out the genie in Ata's body, but unfortunately the genie actually attacked Shaikan. A possessed Shaikan attacks his son. Fikri and others tried to calm Shaikan. The Shaikan said that they had to take the jinn out before dawn because otherwise the Shaikan's body would have died. Mr. Hussain also discussed, he had a way in which they had to go to Wakai Pin's grave and beg for forgiveness for him. Ali, who heard this, didn't agree. He still had a grudge because his parents were bewitched by Wakai Pin. Pak Hussain suggested that because he thought asking for forgiveness was the most effective way. He also told Fikri to bring the things he had given him earlier and read a prayer. Fikri should not be complacent in the slightest, because otherwise they will fail. Soon, Fikri and Ali went to Wakai Pin's grave. Before getting out of the car, Ali said that in the past he regretted not being able to take care of his family. Know that his father died in the mosque. The doctor said that Ali's father had a heart attack. But Ali did not believe in it. They both rushed to the tomb of Wakai Pin. After searching for a while, they finally found the tomb of Wakai Pin. Fikri distributed brown and white rice. The rice was gripped tightly and began to recite the prayer. The weather that had been safe suddenly became windy. Wakai Pin's Mayak appears who drags Ali. Fikri remembers Pak Hussain's words to stay focused no matter what happens. They finally managed to do the ritual. While inside Shaikan's house, it's still not getting better. Pak Hussain asked Ata to wear a mukina to Shaikan. Pak Hussain immediately called Fikri to return home. Fikri, who saw that his wife had not recovered, was confused. Pak Hussain asked Fikri to bring his wife to the front of the cupboard. And when Pak Hussain asked to be opened, The creature in Shiken's body went back into the cupboard. Shiken began to regain consciousness and everything returned to normal. The next morning Ali apologized to Shiken and also Adam. He gave a new cell phone to Adam instead of the old one. Before returning, Ita told Fikri what happened last night when their mother was in a trance. At that time Hamida didn't want to strangle Fikri, but let go of a skeleton hand that wanted to strangle Fikri. I'm sorry that I can only say that now, even though it has been waiting for thought for a lifetime. The cupboard containing the skeleton was thrown far away from the house. They finally found the grave of the old man and prayed for him. Film ends.